Fallout 76, a game with a destroyed civilization, monsters, and is most well known for its bugs. Even though the game had a very rocky start, the game had multiple updates to make it even more playable. And since the Fallout TV show released a few weeks ago, I decided to try it out. As I first start the game, I wake up in my room inside Vault 76. I then proceeded to a computer nearby, which had a message flashing across the screen, which said, "You are invited." As I unlocked the computer, it had a message saying it was Reclamation Day from a person called the Overseer. I then proceeded to my front door and strapped on my Pip-Boy, which is a very important item in the Fallout franchise, since it allows you to see all your items and also look at your stats. As I proceeded to the exit, there were these little pop-up stands with tips and items to help me out on my journey. Before I continued on the path though, I found this little hidden area, the Overseer's office. And as I dug through the computer, there was a message saying that the Overseer was in the wasteland on a mission. As I took the drive the message was on, I proceeded back onto the path to the exit. And there it is, the vault door. And as I walked through the blinding light, I'll never be able to see the vault again. As I stepped foot into the wasteland, I was met by a Mr. Handy. And as I talked to him, he said that he was suspicious about two people on the path ahead. So he asked me to see if their thoughts were civil. As I proceeded down the path, I found a body with some leftover loot, a pistol and a rifle with some ammo. Continuing down the path, I came across my first ever monster encounter. After fending them off alongside some other ones along the way, I came across the two people Mr. Handy was talking about. After talking to them a bit, they said that a guy told them that there was treasure here, and so the guy ended up scamming them. After I was done talking to them, it appeared that someone launched a nuke somewhere. I then checked the map, and luckily it was on the other side of the map. I then proceeded to a place called Wasteland, and as I arrived, it appeared that the owner of the place was being assaulted by some guy who thought that the owner of the place had the treasure map. And the situation became salty real quick because the guy met a nasty demise. After talking to the guy who handled the situation, he gave me a message from the Overseer talking about camps. After listening to the message, I proceeded to follow the road which led to a town. But since I ran across some hostile animals along the way, I decided to take the other way around. While I was going down Route 2, I came across a guy by the water. And by talking to him, I discovered the reason why people said this game was buggy. After talking to him, he gave me a treasure map to some gold. After I arrived to the location, I then proceeded to loot a box left behind by the Overseer, which contained another message. After listening to the message, in order to unlock the next one, I had to do some volunteer work. So I went to the volunteer location and signed up via their terminal. The first activity I had to do was collect some sample water from the river. As I proceeded to meet up with the person who I was supposed to talk to, I found them lying on the ground taking a nap. After taking some of the stuff I needed from them, I then sampled some of the river water and then some of the pipe water. I then went back to another computer inside the volunteer area, and after testing the water, it turned out to be dirty and had severe diseases. Therefore, I had to boil it. After boiling the water and checking in on the computer, it gave me my next task. And as I meet up with the next person who I'm supposed to talk to, I also found them taking a nap in their living room. I then proceeded to use his computer to see what my task was, and that was to cook a basic ribeye steak. We did not talk about how I got this fresh meat. After cooking the ribeye steak, I then checked in on the computer. I then proceeded to log in to the other computer, and the message was a distress call, saying that a large horde of Scorched appeared at their base and they need help. And off I go back on that country road. Before we continue to explore this wasteland, I would like to ask if you could subscribe. It is free and you'll get notified whenever I make new content. Now back to the video. I did stumble across a giant lizard along the way, and after dawdling at it a bit too long, it proceeded to chase me. I ran as fast as I could, but it did end up being my downfall. As I get to the place of the distress call, the place was overrun by Scorched. Lots and lots and lots of Scorched. After having to fight my way through the whole building, I then made it to the main office. And as I was looting a nearby box, I discovered I was not the only one here. Luckily though, the guy was pretty friendly, and was just going to live the rest of his days here. After having a nice chat with him and leaving the office, I proceeded to exit the building and save at a nearby station. And that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Happy gaming!